Hey everyone. So I'm out here planting my root vegetables, and I hope you can hear me kind of far away here. But I wanted to share these quick things that I've, let's see if I can fix the video. Hold on. Stand by. See if I can get a little bit closer so you guys can hear me and see me a little better. Sorry. Hold on. It's probably a little bit better, maybe. It's a little better, probably. Anyway, I am planting my root vegetables, and I've been doing this for quite a few years. And every year I kind of have an aha moment or tweak my technique just a little bit to make it more fast, productive, efficient, you know, frugal. All of the things matter when I try to do these type of techniques, and you know, just keep learning. Always be a student, never be an expert. It's kind of my philosophy in life. But I'm losing daylight. I'll get right to it. So root vegetables, I am planting carrots, and I'm planting these super cool black nebula purple carrots. Psyched about these. This new caruta. It's like a short, sugary, sweet, ultra fine grain texture carrot. We love carrots. Our family eats carrots every day. So I have dedicated pretty much an entire bed this year to carrots. And I'm doing successive planting, which means I'm going to plant a block here now, and in 2 weeks I'm going to come back and I'm going to plant another block, and then in another week or two I'll do another block. So I have a wide row of different stage carrots. That way when these are ready, we're eating through these. By the time we're done with these ones will be ready, and so on and so forth. It's a great way to, it's a great technique to use when you have things that you cut and eat all of. Like when you know, there are some things you can like cut and come again, lettuce, you can, but anyway, you get the point. I'm also growing a bunch of radishes, so I'm trying out this Japanese Daikon radish. It's supposed to be this giant, like 2-foot long radish, so you can't hear anything. Weird. Hold on. Thanks for letting me know, Holly. My phone is shattered to a million pieces. Can you hear me now when you get closer? I don't want to get too close. Let me make sure I'm not hooked up to like some sort of Bluetooth thing. Oh, I am. Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me, Holly. Because I am not going to even bother talking if you guys can't hear me. Let's see here. It's probably delayed a little bit. I don't know. Alright, well, I'm going to keep going. Maybe it'll let me record this at the end and post it later. Let me know if you can hear me. I don't know. I might just restart this. I can hear you. I'm ready. Oh, hi. Okay, good. Thanks for letting me know, and nice to meet you. Perfect. Check your volume, Holly. Okay, cool. I'm gonna move on. Sorry for that little hiccup. I wanted to make sure you could hear what I was actually saying. Anyway, don't even know what I was saying. I was just showing you guys, I think, all of the different things. So I'm doing radishes, a bunch of different carrots. I'm actually doing 5 varieties of carrots. There are more, trust me. I had to take them out of my shopping cart because I just want all of the things. So anyway, we'll get to these in a minute. So when I first do my root vegetables, what I do is I kind of lay out the bed. You can see here, and if you're wondering what these are mini blinds. Okay, if you have an old mini blind, save it. They're like the best plant markers ever. They are literally free, and I have one mini blind that I've been cutting off of and using for like 2 years. I like to keep the full length blinds, or blades, I guess, is that what they're called? I'm not sure. I like these full length ones to lay across the bed like this. So hopefully you guys can see. You can see here, all right? It's all across the bed. And that helps me to divide. Oh gosh, I'm not really great at, good at growing the things, just not good at recording the things. These allow me to lay out an entire swatch of garden bed dedicated to whatever, in this case, it's gonna be the root vegetables, okay? So that's my tip number one, is save your mini blinds. I also cut these up with scissors. They're super easy to cut, and even lengthwise in half, and these are all my plant tags. So, like this. This is a plant tag I have for Merlot lettuce. I just cut it at an angle. Boom, it's a plant tag. Okay, tip number two, use pencil. Do not use Sharpie, do not use pen. Even Sharpie will fade in the sun. I know, it's crazy, right? But just a good old-fashioned pencil will, years, literally years, I've had tags that have not faded. So pencil is great. It's also great because you can make them reusable. If you have a limited supply, you can go back through and erase them and or you can make a mistake and write the wrong thing, whatever, right? All right, so that's my two tips so far, is mini blinds and pencil. You can see here I've also gone through ahead of time. Let's take this out for a second because it's like right in my way. I've gone through and I've kind of laid everything out. I got my seed packets out. I kind of laid them out here. I'm a visual person, so I went, all right, I have this one. I want to do like half a block of that, half a block of that, and so on and so forth. So far I've planted some radishes. Now I'm going to work on, I did some turnips as well. So another root vegetable I did was turnip, okay? And what I did was, I have this template I created. It's just a scrap piece of plywood, and it's been obviously left out in the rain and abused and whatever. But I was trying to incorporate the square foot gardening method into planting, make it more, you know, neat and efficient. I don't want to go back and have to thin things. I don't got time to do all that. So what I did was I took a 1x1 sheet of scrap plywood and I drilled 16 holes in it. 16 per square foot is what you can do most of your root vegetables, your carrots, your radish, even your turnips. Tend to push the limits a little bit. I think that's okay. As long as you give things enough space. Like tomatoes, they're going to take up all of that 2.5 feet of space. But anyway, so what you see here is, well, this is a piece of paper I left out on it. I spray painted the 16, just some, you know, orange, just so I could visually see very quickly where the 16 was. It also has a spot here for 9. You can see I have smaller holes for 9, and that would be maybe lettuce or spinach or something that needs a little bit more room. So taking the time to create time-saving tools like this, I highly recommend. I have used the heck out of this thing, and it has saved me hours of like trying to, you know, carefully put 16 in a square foot or guessing it. It's very neat, it's very orderly. This is the only thing in my life that's neat and orderly. All right, so that's what this is. The mini blinds. I also use landscaping stakes to pin down the vinyl blinds when I have them where I want them. So I'm doing a half of a row of the turnips, the radish, because I don't really need a full 1 foot swatch of that. You don't need that much of those. So what I do is I just kind of lay this down in this place, figure out where the half is here. It goes up to half of my grid. It's hard because I'm going to go from this way actually because I have a post here. But what I do is I kind of just shimmy, a little wide, shimmy this over here, get it to where, hopefully you guys can see here, I have the two. There we go, a little bit better that way. I have the 2 rows here. This is where I'm going to cut off my, you know, this is a full template. I'm cutting it in half. So I'm measuring here so that when I look down into these holes, I have 2 rows that are unobstructed by the mini blinds. I have one on this side here, like here, and I have one in here. So here I'm just going to pin this down, lift this template up, pin this down here. Okay, I'm going to write on it the date I plant this and what it is with a little arrow going this way, so that I know this block from this mini blind here is what this is. So what did I say I was going to plant here? Where are those? Okay, I am going to put these giant turnips. I'm going to give these a try. These are new to me this year. So these are, I'm going to say, I'm not going to write, Daikon Radish. Okay, I usually paraphrase a bit. So now I know this section here, and again, like I said, put an arrow pointing this way, so you know on this side of this swatch is what this is. And then I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to do just 1 square foot, or 1/2 of a square foot. So I put the template down, I just mark a little spot here on the mini blind, so I know this little block here, from here to this line, is where I did my 9/15, I'm writing it down, my 9/15 planting. In 2 weeks, or a week, or 2 weeks-ish, or whatever, remember, my next planting will be this next section, and I'll do the same thing. I'll write the date and arrow pointing this way, although you kind of get the hint now from this one, and the date and what it is. I don't really need to write what it is because it's already on here. But that makes it super simple and easy. So then I just put my template down, open up my seeds. I usually take my finger and I just, so these ones need to be planted 1/4 of an inch, barely anything. The radishes need to be planted 1/2 an inch. I just kind of take my finger and give it a little press. It rained really good here last night, so all of the ground is nice and gently compacted. So I just go ahead and put a little dibble in each of these. Grab a couple seeds, and then it's so easy because you just drop them in the hole. And I just do 2 of each. It's just kind of what I do. 2 or 3 depending on the seed and how long it is. This is brand new seed, so I think we'll be good with 2. Going through with 2. There we go. And done. Now I have that 2, 4, 6, 8 radishes planted. And realistically, we're probably not going to eat more than 8 2-feet-long radishes in a 2-week period. So that's why I'm thinking, okay, that's probably good for my family. Lift up the template. I'll show you guys here what maybe you guys can see. Now, let me see. Let me turn this around. Hold on. It's easier to do it this way. You can see here. Okay, so here's some seeds. Seeds, 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 seeds. So I have my 2, 4, 6, 8 nicely planted here. And all I can do is I just kind of put this dirt back over, cover them up, because these are 1/4 inch again, they don't need much, and press down firmly. Really important to press down firmly. That soil to seed contact is what helps it germinate. Did I do these ones? Yes, I did these ones. Did I? I did not put my soil over them though. Got distracted. Alright, so that's that. Turn this back around. Put you back here. And show you what I'm doing here. Alright. So I think I went over everything that I wanted to share. Just take another landscape staple. Did you say that 10 times? Landscape staple. And there you go. Now I have my dividers stapled down. These things are not going anywhere. They are so firmly secured. And I have my 3 rows so far. So now the next one I'm going to do is beets. Don't have that with me yet. So I'm going to skip this. I think I'm going to do actually 3 rows of beets, so just spacing this out here. Kind of makes my OCD a little unhappy doing three rows. It'll be okay. I'll get over it. Let's see, 3 rows here. Again, just lining this up, stapling this other one down here. So I know that's going to be beets. Moving on. Now we use carrots a lot, so I will definitely do a full 1 foot by 1 foot block today of every kind of carrot that I'm planting. Same thing, move my template along. Make sure I can see down into all of the 12 holes without it being unobstructed by my mini blind. I think I ran out of staples. It's all right. Moving on here. Another thing to take into consideration when you're doing your root vegetables is the time it takes for them to reach maturity. So you don't want to stick parsnips is a great example. Parsnips take a long time. They're a very long vegetable, about 100 days. So you don't want to stick a swatch of parsnips in the middle of your garden bed because it's going to be just annoying. At least it is for me to have this one row that I can't touch. It's kind of in the way when all these other things are done and I want to rotate the bed through. I can't because I'm stuck with this one in the middle giant swatch of parsnips, for instance. So I've learned through experience to try to group your harvest date type of vegetables together appropriately. So that's why I planted the icicle radishes here on the front, the very first row, the very easiest to get to. They're going to be shorter greens. Your parsnips are going to be, they could be 2 feet tall greens depending on, you know, how robust they are. I tend to grow things very robustly here, so it's okay. It's a good problem to have. Now they only take 28 days, those icicle radishes. Parsnips are going to take 100. Let's see here. These carrots take 75 days. These ones take 65 to 70 days. So, you know, a few days here and there is not going to be a big difference. So I'll put all my carrots in the middle. I'll put my faster stuff in the front. Your turnips, same thing. Turnips are going to be really kind of quick. They're going to be 50 days. So you got like 28 days, 50 days, 70, 100. Does that make sense? And that way when you rotate out things, if the only thing left in your bed is maybe parsnips, you can just leave it at the end. A good frost is great. It sweetens them up. And then you can kind of rotate through, maybe plant some greens or whatever your next crop rotation is if you can do that with your beds. So those are my tips. The template, the mini blinds, the landscape staples are all really versatile tools to have in your garden arsenal. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up. I guess I'll let you guys follow along still because why not? You're here. So let's see. I did the radish, I did the turnip already. Did the giant ones. The purple and the yellow carrots, I know, right? Super cool. I think I'm only going to do half the amount just because I'm not sure about these yet. And they're more of like a novelty, I guess. So I'll do like half. I know the Danvers and the Nancy's Half Long are tried and true, great producers. I've got them to grow giant carrots and our family love them. So the things that are tried and true, I'm committing a solid 1 by 3 foot row because my beds are 3 feet wide of those carrots. These ones I think I'm going to do half and we'll just see how they go. You don't want to dedicate too much of your garden space to things that you might not even like. So here is going to be the new Karuta. do a 1 by 1 foot square of that. It is sometimes easier to write it, to mark it where the 1 foot ends. Again, I have it laid out. I know where it ends here. Can you guys see okay? Hopefully. So I know that that's going to be where my 1 foot square stops. And then the purpose of that is so when I go back to replant, I know don't plant anything here. Don't disturb this foot that I've already planted. And I need to move myself to the next one. That way I don't tear up all over the plants I have, you know, sprouting. Because carrots can take a while. Carrots can take a solid, you know, 2 weeks to sprout. My last tip, because my phone's about to die, is going to be cover these kind of finicky seeds, such as carrots, with a burlap, a scrap piece of fabric, even a board, anything that will keep the moisture on the surface of the soil. Since they only need to be sown at a tiny little depth, they have a tendency to dry out quickly, which is why you don't get good germination rate with a carrot or a parsnip or anything like that. If you can do some, you know, measures to keep that soil surface moist, it will germinate so much better for you. So what I do, I get a burlap, I get extra scraps of burlap, I cut my 1 foot by 3 foot strips, and then I kind of just lay it out. I come in here once a day is usually good to give it a water. You want to, if you don't have the fabric, you're going to have to come out here probably 2-3 times a day to make sure that surface, especially in the heat of, you know, the fall can be brutal sometimes with the sun still. It's going to be a challenge if you don't put some sort of moisture barrier there. It'll just help it from evaporating and, you know, from the sun dehydrating the soil. So that's a really good tip as well. So once you're done with that, you go ahead and you give your soil a really good, you know, gentle mist. Again, since these things only need to be sown, carrot seeds 1/8 of an inch surface sown. I mean, they're microscopic carrot seeds. You don't want to get in here with a shower and just flood it out. Okay, use the mist setting, very gently water them, cover them with the fabric, and then in about 10 days, or depending on the germination rate, for instance, this says 12 to 18 days. In about 10 days, I would come out here and start pulling up burlap, just kind of peeking on it, seeing how it's doing. And as soon as I start to see those seedlings pop through, you want to remove the board, the extra piece of fabric. It could be an old t-shirt that your kids have outgrown. It could be an old t-shirt that you've outgrown. Just cut it into a strip, right? It's just old, it's old scrap fabric. It doesn't have to be fancy. It's not gotta be like bougie burlap from Home Depot, okay? It can be whatever you want it to be. Repurpose. Pull it up, and, you know, then at that point come back in here once or twice a day. But once they've germinated and once those little leaves start to sprout, they're much hardier. You still have to keep an eye on them, but they're much easier to keep going at that point. Hopefully that all makes sense. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments so that I can answer them and everyone else can see the answers. And check out my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. I'm gonna go ahead tomorrow when I finish doing the rest of this. I'm gonna actually record a video and plop it over there so that people who don't have Facebook can also get this important information. Hopefully this was helpful, and have a good night.